well, Rolly's cleaning up his chassis over there, so I'm thinking I'm going to do a little bit of work on the International. What I did is I have pulled out one of these AC condensers that I want to use. So I'm going to, although I realize this one's got old school, it's got some different old fittings on it. So what I'm going to do, because it's got like these compression style fittings, and I don't have these. I'm not sure if these are the same size lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off and I'm going to weld this end onto it, so that way I can screw it into here and have this end kind of come down. What I'm planning to do, should mention that, I'm going to have this screw onto here and I'm going to have this bulkhead fitting. And then the other one I have here, I haven't cut this one off yet. I kind of want to try to jimmy rig this one too to fit to another bulkhead fitting. That way I can put this in the truck. My plan is going to be to put it in the upright position. So I want to stick it in the upright position, and I'm going to stick it like here. That way I can run ducking all the way around and it's kind of out of the way. We'll just move the fire extinguisher somewhere else and kind of stick it right there. That's my thought. And then that way I can kind of, well, hopefully under here we can come out of the firewall and then kind of try to tie into the original AC pump here. We got to tie into here, and then I have my condenser up here. So this thing's all ready to boogie, but wherever it is, it's over there somewhere, but yeah. So that's the plan. I got to do that. I want to do a little bit of touching up here, just where there's some bobos on the fender. That's kind of my goal here. And then the other things we have are these splash aprons are kind of really floppy. So I guess the mounts broke that I had up in the front. This side's not so bad. It's the other side's annoying because that one actually rattles. When these motors run, they have so much vibration throughout the whole truck. So this one's the one that does a little bit of that stuff. So we got to hit that up. I don't know if I'm going to get too more involved than that, really. It's pretty much just is what it is. There's very small minor things like this thing here. I know this filler's loose. Got to touch that up. I think there's too much else. You got to imagine it just is what it is. It's just a work truck. So, and this thing's what, I guess it's going on 4 years now. So it's got a ton of miles on it. So it's just what happens. Anyways, I'm gonna get started with the AC because I'd like to try to get that going ready for Lone Star. So that would be the nicest part if I can do that. Alrighty, well, let's get started. Trying to rotate all of this without making anything leak, so I can point my nozzles at the firewall. I want that one there. I don't know where my other one is, right here. I want the other one here, and I'm trying to get them to be roughly lined up and the same. At least that's my plan. They could be further apart, I don't care, but I just want them to be in the same plane. Well, this one's a complete win. Well, at least I'm pretty sure it's a win. And this one's a complete fail. Hopefully I got enough meat on here that I can recut this. This one's going to be the tricky one. And get these two to glue back together. Well, we got these two fittings all welded up. You can see the problems we went through with the little one. We had like a catastrophic failure with that thing, and I ended up getting it too hot and it just blobbed off. That said, you can see I basically cleaned it all up. We've re-welded it. I had to like build most of the structure. This one worked out super well because it's well, this lower tube's actually a little bit bigger than the other one, and we were able to like kind of like squeeze it over. So we got that done. They are, oops, well, stuff's still loose, but they're relatively clocked right still. So technically, I should be able to stick this into the truck. My goal is at this angle, we're going to punch 2 holes through the firewall, and then we'll be able to like start connecting this and hoses and doing whatever else. We're going to do one more welding session with some more of these junky fittings to the pump. I saved the hoses and stuff, but I know I've like bent the hoses a bunch of times inside the truck here, so I'm a little like, this one's got the rubber hose. Everything's here is good. It's got one of the fittings on it. I think this, no, actually I think it's this one's been bent a couple times, and I'm thinking it might actually be wrecked down there, but I don't know. We'll see. Not that it matters. Like, I got a whole new kit and I can just weld onto each of these hoses and just reuse all the new stuff that comes into these kits. I basically got this kit on Amazon. It has all these different fittings and stuff, and it comes with I don't know what this canister is. I don't know if it's like the air dryer or like it dries it or something. I don't know. And this hose. And then essentially I went to Beaver. I'll show you. So I got from these guys, I don't know, this is, I've had a hydraulic one before in the old shop, but anyways, this one here is like one you would stick in the vise and use your impact, and it'll crimp all of your lines. So I don't know. I guess I'll grab it and I will grab it, and we're gonna need it right away anyways. I think the next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna line this thing up. There's like some bolt in here. We can make a simple bracket, but I'm gonna want to mount it this way. Then I'm gonna make a plate onto here. What this guy, well, this came out of that van that Austin has in his he tore it down for his Buick. Anyways, there was a filler panel on top, and they made a few of these vents. I want to do the same, but I'm going to put 4 vents in here. So I'm going to probably make a steel one with some sleeves with some slugs in it, and then we'll have to build some vents inside the truck. I got some vents off Amazon. I kind of wanted the square ones, but all they had are these round ones, so we'll do that. I could cut up my dash, but I think all I'm going to do is build these little squares underneath here. So I can have a vent on this side, a vent in the middle, like 2 vents in the middle for Esther and myself, and then one in the far corner. And then in that corner, I'm going to basically mount the AC unit up against the kick panel, but we're going to exit the hoses through the firewall. Like, I'll show you. It's pretty simple. Well now, what did I do? I have been welding and welding like crazy. I'm trying to fit this in here so I can test fit a hose up here. So we took the original adapter from the truck, or the original connector. I don't know, can't get it out right now. Let's see if I can get this out with minimal effort. Come on. So you've seen me fumbling with this, breaking this, everything else. So this is what I built. This is the original doodad from the truck. I welded a collar on here so I can crimp a hose on it, because the other hose was goofy. Like, it would have worked, but I would have had to crimp another rubber hose. So I just crimped this end onto there. So we have our high side and the high pressure switches right here, because we're going to use the stock one from the truck. Then over here, this was nice because it actually fit into it. So this is the low side, and this is going to attach to the AC unit into the truck. So this original hose works fine for that. Anyways, upon trying to figure out the length of this line and stuff, I ended up finding out that my condenser's broken. These darn trucks, they could say these diesels rattle so much that I'm not even sure if I can fix this. But I noticed the upper line had broken off here, and it's well, we got a hole. I mean, it's copper. I think I can fix this. Should be able to just solder it. But yeah, that's kind of crappy. I don't know about the bottom. I'm gonna try to solder it, but I'll have to try to pressure test it and see if it's good. I might have to get a condenser, and may not have AC. So it'll probably take a while to come. I think if I do that, I'm gonna solder it in a few places down here, or zip tie it, or do something. That's nuts. So anyway, I was trying to puzzle all these pieces all together, and then I wanted to pressure test to make sure my hoses have no leaks in it, my welds. But I'm gonna have to address this first before we try to proceed further here. Alright, well, I got such a mess going on here. Okay, I have no better way to test this other than to plug it, and we're just gonna go with compressed air. I don't know, we'll hit it with everything she's got, because my understanding is these things run over 100 PSI anyways. Oh yeah, that's just not good. Can you tell by the spray in the camera? The good news is the back actually seems like it's okay. All right. We'll keep soldering this. Looks like we might actually win. I was about ready to try to buy a condenser because I thought this is going to be completely bunk. All right, let's keep trying this. Still don't know why nothing wants to stick up here. this on here in case it wants to fall apart. All right, attempt number 2. I actually think the bottom is good. I think we got it. I actually didn't think I was going to fix this. Perfect. All right, see if I can make this work. I've never used one of these before. I had a hydraulic one before, but well, put these the right way. So if I do this right, I think this is all we got to do. Probably should put this thing in the vise, but I guess it's right. You would have thought it would squish everything. No, it didn't do what I thought it would do. Maybe I gotta go both ways. Let's do this differently here. Let's try it both ways. I don't know. I just feel that's not right. That looks much better. That looks like a normal dealio. All right. Now we just got to do this one. I like it. It looks good. At least I think it looks good. Hopefully that works. I feel I have a leak because it's not holding any vacuum. I need to switch this around to put pressure in. I got to work this backwards and see if I can do the old soapy water deal. So after some playing around, we went around, I realized there was something had rubbed through on that part of the hose. So I've welded it up. It looks like it's taken vacuum. So now we sit and wait. If this doesn't go down, at least I know this condenser is good, and I know this line that I all boogered together is good. So that means all I have to do is crimp a couple more lines, and technically this should be good, because from my understanding now, the way we got it, this goes here from the pump to the low side. This one goes into my AC condenser, then out my AC condenser. Or I don't know if this is the condenser or that, the rad. I'm going to say rad. So this other line is going to go into my rad, out of my rad, into this filter, or I guess it's a filter. Goes into that, and then it goes back into the box. So from here on in, if this stays and holds vacuum and doesn't drop, then I know this is sealed up tight. Then I just know I have to just make 2 more lines, and if I have a leak, it'll be with those lines, I guess. Anyways, sit and wait on this. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. We got the rad that's all cleaned up or fixed up. I don't have a proper mount. All it is it's basically zip tied to a bar that I have in here. So I wrapped it with some, I had foam before, but it just didn't seem to hold out. So I have a rubber hose on it, and we just zip tied it back into there. So that should be cherry. The only thing I don't have are fittings to go onto these. So I'm gonna have to get some like AN fittings, something like that I can put on there, which now I wonder if I screwed up with that other hose, because I'm gonna need a funky adapter. Whatever, we'll figure it out. For now, we'll just make all the stuff, and then worst case, I gotta buy a little adapter to put onto that condenser. Well, I'm just heading out to the muffler van because you see me, I built this thing and I need tubes to be able to attach hoses. Judging by the weather, you're probably wondering why I'm bothering with AC. But anyways, we're, like I say, we're going down to Texas, and you know what? This has honestly just been on my to-do list forever on my truck. So since I built it, I put the AC condenser in there originally, and I left the pump on there, and I modified the motor mount around it so that I could reuse the factory pump and everything. So this has just been a long time coming. It's been on my to-do, and I'm just finally doing it. Anyways, I'm gonna go, when I get to the van, we're gonna snoop and see if I can find some elbows that are roughly about this size so we can stick and run the tubes in the truck. All right, if you're new here, this is what I refer to as the muffler van, because a long time ago, there was a couple parts stores and they were just selling out all their exhaust pipes, and basically I just got the lot of it. So I kind of scabbed, I don't know how many exhaust systems together out of this stuff. And right now, I'm just looking for some elbows that'll fit into this. And I'd like it to be a little bit more undersized because those vent tubes are a little on the smaller size of this. I couldn't get a punch that was the right size. Anyways, I'm going to use two hands and hunt around in here and find what I need. And I'll see you guys back in the shop. All right, folks, this is not pretty, but nobody's gonna see it. Mostly it's really crappy because I had the holes way too oversized. These are pretty close to the same size as my tubes here. So when I punched it, I kind of went a little overboard. So anyways, we won't look at that. What am I gonna do? Let's see. The plan or the idea, hopefully you can see. Hold on, I'm gonna get a light. All right, just so you can see what's going on. So you can see we got our dealio, our compressor pump is all mounted here. And this is gonna, well, it takes some finessing. Anyway, it's gonna fit on there, and then we can kind of route all of our hoses where we need. Plan is to have a vent here, two in the middle, one on the side. Hopefully kind of do it with the controls somewhere here in the dash or there. I don't know. Then we'll just extend these wires over to do whatever I need. So that part is fine. I ended up pulling the filter back apart, the box part here again. I just want to put a fresh filter in just for the hay of it. I still have to find adapters for that. So we have all our hoses made, and everything's all plumbed going through the firewall. So over on this front, you can see Rolly was cleaning the frame. He kind of got all that stuff done. Ryder's been doing a bunch of welding on it, welding all the gussets for him and things like that. And well, that's about where we're at. I think we have all the parts to start actually building the front end. So I'd like to do that. And we'll probably start getting into the 4-bars and stuff into the rear. It's kind of where we're going. That over there, you can just ignore it. That'll be hopefully coming up in the future. I know people keep asking about it. Anyways, I still have to get some fittings or some adapters so we can kind of adapt everything together under the hood here. And then, what do we got to do? We still got to build the boxes for the vents. All this welding and stuff, this all took way longer than I thought. Well, I guess that's how it goes. Anyways, I'm gonna get Ryder. It's probably gonna be coming out, so I'm gonna get him to work the plasma table and get him to cut those vent mounts. Just give him some practice with it. Pretty good. And I'll probably start doing some body work. I have checked, because I had problems with my air compressor in here, and I checked it over, and it's just a pressure switch, so I'm waiting for that to come in. I still gotta do some brackets for the running boards, or the splash aprons. I gotta do that. The body work. We got a few things, and unfortunately, like I say, everything took a little longer than I thought, so we'll have one more installment before this thing's pretty much ready to road trip. We'll get a few things ready. Hopefully Buddy has time. He's probably gonna do the pump for me, get that timed in. So we should be all good to go. But I think that is where we are gonna leave this one. As always, folks, I wanna thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.